The topic was about Faye. I joined when it was about Faye, and just because she was saying about Mama Kaz and Alphabet, I never really commented on them. I commented on Mr. Faye, and that was it. I had an argument with Faye, and Gracie even questioned me and said, "All right, EQ," and I said to her, "To be honest, Gracie, you know, I don't really care. So if you stayed around long enough, you'd have heard me say, I don't care where anybody goes. I just hate people who I hate, so I'll always go with them, whether it be about a subject that's even relating to me. If I hate somebody, I'm going for them."
So you only against people when you are fighting with people?
Like yes, okay, exactly.
Okay.
So I don't hold those personal opinions. Anyone can go, "Well, I don't give a fuck where Mama Kaz is urinating." I don't. You know what I mean, Barbie? You must know that by now.
Yeah, but
I will. Those coming at me in the comments, right? I'm in a really hard situation at the minute because I've got two of my really good friends in the boxes, you know, that are loggerheads. You know, if I was to, like, please tell me what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? I'm letting them both speak.
Miss Red, I'm not going to put you in that position. I've said me piece. I'm not taking it back. I'm sorry who I've offended, but that is my opinion. I will drop down. I'm not putting you in that position, right? But listen, everybody, I really am not taking it back. So...
And here's the thing, and for me, I have done it all, but I still go to the handicapped toilet because that is where I feel safe. I don't want to put anybody in a position where they have to like be uncomfortable, because there is trans people that have done it all, you know, they have done it all, but they still have the manly features, they still have everything, but they kind of have the totally, you know, thing done. Nobody can look like Evil Queen, who is beautiful to look at, you know, but it's not everybody that can look like totally a female. But there is trans people that have done it all, but they still have the manly features, you know. So we can't go after the look, because there is some of them that's not, what you say, lucky in that department, you know.
Guys, the reason I weren't adding anybody to the boxes is because I didn't want to escalate the argument.
You've done nothing wrong. Have you caught between a rock and a hard place?
Listen, my darling, please don't. Well, you're not involved in this. This is, you know, it's very, very hard as well, guys. Everyone in the comments that, you know, she's behind here. She's the host of the live. I'm not feeling any type of way. You know, I love you.
I love you too, and, you know, and I love Pearl. It's just like, it's really hard for me, you know, when you know, obviously this situation's going on, and you know, I have to talk about it. Otherwise, I get accused of avoiding the situation. Do you know what I mean? But this isn't about my feelings, you know.
It's okay. It's hard for me too, because I really like Miss Cassie, my darling. I really like her. So I got that question last night, and I didn't want to answer it because that's not my place to answer.
At the end of the day, Miss Red, you've brought 3 trans women in. You've done your best to provide a platform. You've done nothing to... And these people who are saying polls, she's not going to do a poll on somebody's life. It's not a poll as a position.
Yeah, I'm seeing poll, guys. What do you want a poll of? Like, what do you want me to do a poll of? You know, Pearl's got her opinions, you know. Everyone knows, you know, what the debate's about. What do you want a poll about? I don't understand why people want a poll on what?
The toilets.
On the toilets. Shall I do a poll? Are you okay, ladies, with me doing a poll? I just don't want to add fuel to the bloody fire, to be honest.
You do what you want. I just thought it was between Pearl and Kaz, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just feel like, I mean, in an ideal world, do you know what I'm like, Kaz? I like everyone to speak and get on. I don't think it's going to happen, but I just feel like Pearl's got her opinions and she's entitled to her opinions. My opinion is, you know, I feel like something needs to be done where toilets can be used, you know, safely, you know, by trans people and not have to feel away. It's just such a hard debate, you know. I'm not, you know, the most educated on the situation, but I just feel like it's just such a hard debate, isn't it?
Well, it depends where you come from, Miss Red. It depends where you come from, because I don't see myself as a woman. I am a trans woman. I will always be a trans woman because I changed my gender. So
yeah, but do you feel like that because maybe, like, do you pass completely? Because as me, I don't feel like, oh, I'm a trans woman.
I pass totally.
So then why do you hold that opinion that you don't class yourself as a woman when we are fighting to be women and to empower? Can I just finish what I'm saying, and then obviously you can respond? So basically you're turning around and making an excuse saying, well, I don't look at but that's you're putting the wrong message out there. I don't want to be linked up as a trans woman. Yes, I am, but I'm a woman, you know what I mean? And I embody everything that's a woman. So for you to be putting that out there and say, well, I don't identify as a woman, well, why have you had surgery then?
I identify as a trans woman because I am a trans woman. I'm proud to be a trans woman. There's nothing wrong to say that I'm a trans woman. I don't go out and say, I'm a lady, I'm a lady. I'm not going around and saying that. That's my opinion. That's me. Whoever wants to say that they are a woman, it's okay for me. That's just my opinion. But for me to feel safe, still feel safe, I do use the handicapped toilets. Because that's my safe space. That way I can be alone. That way I can, you know, fix my makeup or something like that. I don't like public spaces. So I never ever go to the toilets. Normally I'm waiting for them till I get home. But if I do it, I'm going to that toilet.
I feel that these conversations, right, are always going to offend someone. Someone's always going to be offended because opinions are different. Let's all be honest and let's all agree with that. And I feel that sometimes it's how people deliver their what they're trying to say sometimes come across wrong. I feel with Pearl, because she's obviously so set back in her ways, and that's her opinion, and everyone's opinion's valid, you know what I mean, in every scenario. But I mean, sometimes it's just better to educate instead of just the way people have begun at her and all this stuff. It wasn't fair before she got in a box and to explain herself or have say what she wanted to say. Everyone was going at her, and I didn't think that was fair because I think education is the most important thing here.
Yeah,
and then if she doesn't want to be educated. She's saying that that's her opinions, and she's openly sitting there on live calling me a man, saying me and Elphaba are the same. So she's not delivering what she's saying in a nice way at all. Everyone can have an opinion,
but then also in the end, then Kaz, I mean, I see you as a woman anyway. That's how I see you. That's just my opinion. You come across female to me, so I see you as a woman and I respect it. But I feel then at the end of the day, when you then twisted it then and said, oh, wait until I see you in the toilet, then you've lost your argument then because you obviously came across meaning violence. Well, that's how it come across to me.
Well, I didn't mean it in that way.
I don't think she meant, I think it was like, she was more saying, well, hello. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
You know, not at all. Not at all. But yeah, anyway, I'm actually I'm going to drop down. Obviously, I've came on today to defend myself and who I am as a person. Putting trans aside, I'm a human being at the end of the day. I'm on my own journey. I think all of us as individuals, we're on a journey. And I'm on a journey to becoming the person that I am within. I don't think it's fair for anyone to sit there and call me a man or to tell me in 2024 where I should and shouldn't go. You know, I don't feel like I should feel discriminated against. And that's exactly how I felt. And that's all. Anyone that's on a journey...
In another 20, 30 years' time, it'll be the same as when they tried to segregate black people. We'll be totally accepted.
And, you know, people that want to agree with her opinion, you know, I'm being discriminated against at the end of the day. And same as you being a human, whether you agree with me or not, you have every single right in this life. And I'm just here living. And I love every single one of you guys that are also on a journey becoming who you feel you are inside. And that's all I've got to say.
Yeah, but don't be worrying because, like I say, all the new generation are not going to tolerate this shit years to come. Because they'll be looked back on into history books of people who were disgusting and it won't be allowed, you know what I mean? So we're at the beginning of it. So we've got to set the standard, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's all I've got to say, to be honest with you. Have a nice day, guys.
Love you, Kaz.
Bye-bye, darling.
Bye, darling. But it's like we can't, for me, and I've seen comments down there that are like, I'm backtracking. No, I'm not backtracking because Pearl has her opinion. I cannot go in and change her. And there have been moments where me and Pearl is live with each other and she's saying to me, Barbie, can you please take over because you know what I'm saying, but I don't want to say the wrong words. And I'm said, yes, of course. And then I'm explaining to her, just like yesterday, she didn't know the difference between a transvestite and a transgender. And, and you know, because she doesn't know it. She doesn't have been around it. So some of us have to tell her and educate her on that. And we did that yesterday. It's like...
Thank God Gracie's here. Gracie, didn't you ask me the question last night, do I really care? And I said, nope, I'm not interested. I just don't like Mr. Faye.
So, sorry, I was waiting to speak. I didn't want to interrupt anyone. Hi, Miss Fred. Happy New Year, everyone. How are we? So, I'm all up for a laugh and a bit of banter, yeah? And I've come in and EQ and Pearl are bantering backwards and forwards and I'm having a giggle, whatever. Anyway, Pearl invited me to the box. And the more I was listening, the more I was thinking, hang on a minute, she's actually like really sounding very serious about this, you know, like, and I said to Pearl, I said, look, you can have your opinions. I said, however, I think there's a way to put your opinions across. And the way you're coming across is extremely aggressive. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like really like you're saying it to hurt people's feelings. And yes, I did. I said to Evil Queen, I said, like, if this was pre your ops, you know, pre your ops, you wouldn't like this either, would you? You know? But we all know what EQ's like, and it was the fact that it was Faye, and she doesn't like Faye. She'll say things due to the individual that she's kind of going against at the time because she knows it's something that they're going to dislike. It's going to hurt their feelings. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like I just think the whole thing was the way it was put across. Like my mum always said to me, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything. Do you know what I mean? And I think those opinions can be quite damaging to people. That's all. And I tried to explain it to her last night, but she wasn't, really having it. But yes, EQ did say that.
Thank you. Because like Barbie just pulled me up saying I was being two-faced. And I was like, well, Gracie did ask me the question. I just don't like individuals, so I'll say anything, you know what I mean, in an argument. But Gracie did come in and say, like, you know, in the end, because at first she was having a little laugh, and then she was actually the one that said, hang on a minute, this is coming across as really, like, aggressive and angry. Why do you care so much in that?
It was not about just saying that you were two-faced. It's just that you had another opinion yesterday, and today you just turn around. For me, that's weird, but that's just me.
But Barbie, how long were you in there for? Because
I was in there when we were battling. I was in there when we were battling, and I need to go because I couldn't have said anything because there was a screaming match. I was there in before Evil Queen was there because they wanted me to go in a battle, and I was asleep. I just came home from hospital yesterday. And I was like, okay, I will go in because I didn't know what it was about. So I went into my life, jumped on, and saw it. And then they wanted to. And I told Pearl after the match, after Miss Faye went, there is moments where you can say your opinion, but sometimes it's too harsh, Pearl. And I said that to her yesterday. Sometimes it's too harsh.
Yeah, I totally agree. The way she put it across was not.
And I was silent because every time I tried to talk last night, they were yelling and screaming. So when they went into Pearl's life, I was in there for 5 minutes and I jumped out because I can't take when people are yelling and screaming.
Call me two-faced and change my opinion or whatever when you didn't listen to the whole live. Then if you're saying
I listened to the whole live.
So listen to Gracie and listen to me. When Gracie asked me the question, she put it on my toes. She said, really? And I said, well, I don't actually care. So you know that I've said that, but now you're trying to call me two-faced.
No, I heard you said you don't care, but it's like you were on Pearl's side last night.
I was on Pearl's side because I hate Faye. It was all about Faye, not Mama Cat, not Alphabet.
She was targeting an individual. What she's trying to say, she was targeting an individual with her opinion. She wasn't, that's not her opinion on everybody who's pre-op. That's just because she dislikes Faye. And that's what Evil Queen does.
I just think it's a little bit wrong to say that because they are falling out with somebody, you're against them. Just to support everybody in their journey, no matter if you like them or not. That's just my opinion. And I ran last night. It was 4:00 in the morning here in Denmark. I was totally used last night in my body, so I just had to go last night. I was there. I heard it all, but for me, I cried in half an hour last night because of it. Because I like Pearl, I like Miss Faye. And I was in the middle because they put me into it. And I was like, well, something you can say and something you cannot say. And I think some of the thing Pearl said and some of the thing Miss Faye said, it was not the right time to say it. I feel that they could have a normal discussion one-on-one, normal talk, you know, but it was it was too high last night.
I'm going to try, like when I come off the live, I'll speak to Pearl and speak to Kaz, and I'm going to try and get him to speak. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not nice to hear, is it? And hopefully, you know.
I'm gonna jump down, but you've done great, Miss Red, because obviously these sort of conversations are hard. Like being the host and that, I've been in it before, and other hosts have had these discussions, and it's hard because there's no one's always going to agree, you know what I mean? And it is one of them subjects where someone is going to be triggered. And one thing I'm going to say, for Joanne111, please remove your mental health advocate and a suicide awareness person out your bio, please, because you come from me every post and you're always going for people. And remember, you follow someone that said mental health don't exist. So, I think you should just remove
Alex, even the trans people don't agree together, as you can see. So, you know what I mean? These debates are what are needed. So Miss Red should not be in any firing line ever for hosting any of these lives.
Do you know what it is for me, EQ? Like, because I can see both sides of I understand, like, you know what I mean? I'm caught in the middle in a sense of, I agree where Pearl's coming from. I don't, you know, a delivery isn't always the best, you know, she's very passionate. It's just our Pearl in it. And, you know, Kaz as well. I understand where Kaz is coming from, you know. It's just the way that it's said, do you know what I mean? So it's a hard situation for me to be in, because I do see, I'm not sitting on the fence, Catherine. I'm not sitting on the fence at all.
But the thing is, in this situation, Miss Red, there's no problem with sitting on the fence. In this situation, there's no problem with sitting on the fence. You can just be indifferent to it. That's not a bad thing. You can have an opinion on it, or you could just not give a shit. Do you know what I mean? It's not, do you know what I mean? The problem is when it's a bit like religion in my eyes, for example. I'm not religious. Other people are religious. I don't like it when people shove religion down my throat. Right? That's it. You can have your opinion on religion, have your beliefs, but there's no need to put across in a nasty way your beliefs to deliberately offend people. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So, and that is unfortunately how Pearl came across last night was offensive. And she wanted, like, she was being very, like it had a very aggressive tone to it. Do you get what I mean? There's no need for that. Like, you can have your opinion. It's not terrible to have, you know, to feel uncomfortable with a situation like the toilet situation. It's not a problem if you feel uncomfortable with that. But to go out of your way to take individuals and then, you know, a situation that they're going through, which must be very hard for them, and then really ram into them about it because you've got an opinion on it, it's not okay. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not.
No, I do understand, right? And I'm not like excusing Pearl's behaviour at all. I wouldn't do that, but I do know that Pearl's had a really, really tough week, and I can't like talk about what's happened. So I think she was kind of like, you know, venting. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because like if you know Pearl off TikTok, she's absolutely lovely. Do you know what I mean? And I just think she's had a rough week, and you know, and I'm not saying it's an excuse, guys. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just think it was the delivery of it all. Do you know what I mean? I think, yeah, I do agree with you.
Yeah, it just seemed very attacky. Do you know what I mean? To very attacky. It wasn't pleasant.
Yeah,
it wasn't pleasant.
Hi, Leanne.
Hello, you okay?
Hello, darling.
Hey. It's a bit annoying, really, because I just wanted to sort of ask Mama Kaz a question, so I'm not sure if she's still in here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry. I couldn't see what was going on with my phone then. I think what it was that I find confusing, and just for the record, I'm like, anyone can go in any toilet. It doesn't bother me at all. I think everyone should be able to go wherever they feel safe. And I think it's great that they are bringing out more unisex toilets, and hopefully, you know, Evil Queen, like you were saying, hopefully in 20 to 30 years, they'll just be everywhere, and this won't be something that we have to debate anymore.
It shouldn't take that long, though.
No, I know.
In this day and age, you know, Yeah, I don't think it should take that long.
To be brutal, it takes people like Pearl to pass away for things to change. So that's when it'll start changing, when the people with those archaic views, obviously pass away. And I'm not being rude, but that's the truth.
But you say that, but this is what I was going to say to Mama Kaz is, what doesn't make sense to me is, Mama Kaz seems to have a thing about being accused of being the exact same as Elphaba. But in my eyes, they are the same. Just because Elphaba burps and farts, I don't think that makes any difference to her being less of a female than Mama Kaz.
I have to disagree.
But have they not had the same? Are they not on the same sort of stage in their transition?
Well, I know for a fact, obviously, like I say, me and Kaz are really good friends, and we do spend a lot of time talking off TikTok, so I know what Kaz has done.
And she already said that, so she's going through Gender GP, which is exactly the same as what Elphaba's going through. Yeah, so to my knowledge, they are in the same stage.
It's just the shocker. Elphaba's more ahead in the journey than Mama Kaz, unbelievably enough. I know that from personally talking to Elphaba now.
Which is basically what I wanted to speak to Mama Kaz about. I think if you're in that community, you should all be trying to support each other. You shouldn't be putting yourself on a pedestal to say, well, I'm more trans than you are. Like, I just don't get that. I find it really, I don't by any means condone Elphaba's behaviour, by the way, on this app at all. But I do see that vulnerability in the sense that she should be supported. And yes, her and Mama Kaz are the same. I go on live and I burp. Does that make me any less of a woman? I go on live and I don't wear makeup. Does that make me any less of a woman? So just because Elphaba goes on like that and does those things, that shouldn't make her any less than Mama Kaz.
But hang on, but Leanne, you are biologically a woman.
So now, what separates that between Elphaba and Mama Kaz?
Cancel me, because I really don't care about this, right? If you are a trans person, and you're, transitioning from male to female, like, I'll totally respect that journey and stuff. But if you're going to do that, if you're not presenting as a woman, then, like...
But I think Elphaba does most of the time.
Then what's the point? Why do you want to... What's the point?
So just present as what I'm just trying to understand
what you're transitioning into. I'm sorry, I don't care if it cancels me. I'm not bothered. That's my opinion.
This is what I'm saying. It's not a competition, but if you feel that way, I agree with Grace, and this is what I'm saying. Kaz and Elphaba are completely different. EQ would disagree. She's saying that Elphaba's further on in the journey, but
this is the hormone prescribing. Sorry, Miss Red, only for the hormone prescribing. That's the only thing she's a bit.
Yeah, and I'm just saying that I don't think it's fair to, because Elphaba comes on without makeup on and she burps, that shouldn't make her any less of a woman than it does Mama Kaz. That's all I'm trying to say. I think that they're on that same journey and it shouldn't be any different.
Hello, Leanne.
Hello, my darling. Are you well?
Yeah, I've been listening.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're still in here.
Yeah, I do just want to say, I think, this is again my opinion, me and Elphaba are not in the same category at all. Now, I actually agree with Grace, and I think Grace is nothing to be cancelled about. Now, me feeling and being born different and me feeling trapped in the wrong body, I feel I have to make an effort to, portray the way I feel inside. She makes zero effort. So
but that's not
now,
true.
Let me finish.
I'm not sticking up for her, but I'm just saying that's not true.
Has finished, darling. Thank you.
I'm in being an Elphaba fan, which is completely fine. Now,
I'm not, but okay.
So what I am going to say is, now you're a biological female yourself, so, you haven't got to have the struggle of maybe presenting in that way because, you was luckily enough was able to be born, that way. Now, me not being able to, if I come on here, burp, fart, have, doing all of that stuff, not even doing the daily requirements of even showering or having any personal hygiene, how the hell could I expect anyone to see me as female? Please explain.
I'm sorry, and I'm not going against you, Mama Kaz, but if genitals don't define you, how does not wearing makeup or cleanliness define you?
Exactly. You shouldn't have to wear makeup to feel like who you are. That's the point I'm trying to make, and it shouldn't make you feel like any less of a person. If it helps you, then that's great and that's amazing, but I don't feel like someone's transition should be judged by how they present themselves, because that's how they feel inside. It shouldn't always be to do with their external.
Effort has to be involved in this. If there's no effort in being the way you feel inside, how could I come in here and expect anyone to see me in that way? That's just my opinion.
But it shouldn't be about how other people see you. It should be about how you feel.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, so Elphaba, for example, is consistently upset about people misgendering her, right? So say Elphaba goes out in public and somebody misgenders them. She makes a video about it. She's pissed off. She talks about it on live. How is, if she doesn't present as a female, then how is anyone supposed to know that she is trans? Do you understand what I'm saying? If she's not coming across as female, why are people getting told off for misgendering her when you can't? So you can't win. She doesn't present as a female. So how are we supposed to know that she's a female? How is somebody who doesn't know her supposed to know that she is?
But Gracie, I think that's just today's society. Like a lot of people nowadays, when they meet each other, they'll say, "Oh, what are your pronouns?" And that's just.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not walking up to every person in the street that I meet and saying. No,
I'm not saying you should.
That's so wrong.
That is what happens. There are a lot of people that have short hair, long hair, and don't wear makeup, and it can be difficult, and that's why people ask what their pronouns are.
But I am on Mama Kaz's side. I make the effort.
Leanne, I don't agree with you saying I'm the same as Elphaba. I don't agree with that. Someone that doesn't even.
If I saw Mama Kaz in the street and did not know her, I would call her she by default, because to me, she's obviously presenting as a female.
But when I agree, 100%.
Comment section.
I absolutely agree.
Do you see me and Elphaba as the same? Someone that births, shits, farts, has bogies hanging out of her nose.
But everyone does that. It doesn't make you any less of a woman. I understand you obviously present a lot better, but when Elphaba does put that effort in, I think it's clear also that she has obviously got some issues and some vulnerabilities there. So she doesn't always present herself in that way, and that's her choice. And we aren't to judge that for whatever reason, but I don't think it makes her any less of a woman. If that's how she feels inside, then who are we to judge? That's basically all I'm saying.
Great for her, but you can't have a go at people.
I'm not having a go at anyone, Gracie. I'm just saying my opinion.
I think I do agree with Mama Kaz. Like, I make more of an effort to look the best and everything. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try and obviously, like, I'm quite pally with her now. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna try and guide her a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because she hasn't got the guidance. Everyone hates her. You know what I mean? The trans people, trans community. So I'm gonna try and guide her a bit.